Welcome back to the afternoon session. A number of really interesting panels and presentations for you this afternoon. We're all kicking off in this room for 15 minutes and then dividing. I'm absolutely delighted to say that MEI have been very much part of this journey that Rick and Smile have gone on with Power of Events. Initially, it wasn't Power of Events, Rick, it was One Industry, One Voice. And it was a way of the industry coming together and trying to support itself during very challenging times over the last couple of years. To Rick's massive credit, he's realized that there's an opportunity, there's a gap where something good can come out of that COVID crisis. And he's here to tell you all about it.
Thanks very much, Andy. Appreciate that. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're not too tired after lunch. I've got the graveyard shift, but I'll try and get that going. I only spent 7 hours on the train this morning getting here, so I feel like I'll know most of the north of England now, which is lovely. I'd much rather be here than London. So my job today is twofold. I'm going to tell you what the bad news was, and then rather than give you a silver bullet, give you a bit of an overview of the Power of Events, the initiative that is hopefully going to be part of a solution to getting the whole events industry a little bit more respect, a little bit more value, a little bit more understanding. Because what I felt, and a lots of the peers I've spoken to across the many sectors of the industry over the last couple of years, is this events industry really doesn't know how to define itself still. Therefore, we're not getting the support and the understanding from government or from the national media, or most importantly to everyone, the future talent. And hopefully the Power Events that we're launching very soon, and we're galvanizing a lot of support over the last 6-9 months, might be a bit of a solution to that. So, yeah, Tom, if you could just crack on. Oh, shall I do that? Okay.
And then also use that, and then you can solve.
Okay, there we go. So, just quickly then, the not so good news. COVID exposed, I think, and has caused a lot of challenges for this industry. It's not all bad, but I've put a few up here that I've spoken to a lot of industry peers and trade associations over the last few weeks to collate this. Post-COVID, a lot of brands, clients, venues, suppliers, the talent coming into our industry have quite different aspirations now. The way they want to work, hybrid working, their expectations of career moves, their salary demands, the price of living and cost of living has required that. And I think we've all got a lot of change of behavior that we've got to deal with, which in itself presents quite a lot of challenges to us as an industry serving both our internal sort of stakeholders and our clients and so on. I think what COVID exposed, certainly from a government support perspective, because it was zero, was that we really aren't able to define ourselves very well alongside other sectors, alongside other industries that probably got more support and more of an ear to the government. A lot of great trade associations in the industry lobbied government a lot, did great worked really hard through Treasury, BEIS, DCMS and so on, to really get some support for our industry that was the first to close and the last to open. And obviously we're still seeing some effects of that now. But without being able to actually position ourselves with clear data of what our actual impact is on society, on the economy, on exports, what our impact is on employment, levelling up, youth employment across the 4 nations, we can't really expect national media or national government to take us that seriously yet, because we can't actually sort itself internally before we present it externally. So there's a collaborative mission there, which COVID sort of encouraged, I think, a lot of people to pull down some barriers, be a bit less siloed in their different sectors, and learn from each other. And I'm trying to encourage that continuity of change of behavior. The next generation and talent is one of the biggest issues, not just in our industry, but in many industries. I think most suppliers, even clients, are suffering from talent bleed. And it really is affecting capacity, ability to do high quality work in some areas, turning down business, not be able to actually resource business when you want to. And obviously there's been a big concertina effect of supply when cancelled events have all cascaded into 22 and 23. So that's something that we're all got challenged with, really. And obviously the cost of a living and obviously the ability to actually get investment and the cost of debt and so on. Some suppliers of technical equipment and so on are struggling to actually invest long term without really knowing what long term looks like, which doesn't really encourage a lot of innovation development in our industry. I think you're getting the picture here, but the bottom line is our external perception of our industry, particularly if you're a new member wanting to come into this, isn't that it's probably the best career choice. When little Johnny or little Julie go to mum and dad say, I want to go into the events industry when they're about to leave school or going to university, mum and dad may well query that as a really long-term career move at the moment. Isn't it a bit screwed up after COVID? Are there really that many career opportunities? Is it really a long-term development opportunity in your career and business? And we need to change that. We need the best talent, considering the events sector, the most amazing sector, I think, for any sort of medium of expression of content and audience engagement. And we need to define ourselves and showcase ourselves so that we do attract that best talent. And hopefully the Power Events will support that. So, basically, the idea behind the Power Events is I used COVID in the last 6-9 months to contact literally now thousands of organisations across the 7 main sectors, which I'll show you in a minute, which I defined, to actually ask them if we had somewhere that everyone could go to, one place, one platform, one website that defined the industry, its 7 sectors, and enabled a little map of the industry to point people, signpost them to the university courses, to the trade associations that do great supporting the cross-industry community, to the support organisations that develop skills and DEI best practice and sustainability and health and safety, and to the industry press that showcases insights and the latest news. If those communities were represented in one place, you could find it in one place and be signposted to them with an overview of the sectors, and perhaps also with a little events calendar of all the different events like this, and in different sectors have AGMs and award ceremonies and conferences. If that was all in one place, surely that's going to be a benefit to so many different audiences, to next talent, future talent, going to this website and seeing the amazing breadth of opportunity, the expertise we have globally, for the university lecturers and academics to sell the events industry, to grab people into their courses, for people lobbying government, to point government to it and get them to actually understand in very small words and little pictures, which they probably need, bless them, to actually understand the amazing power and the multi-tens of billions our output is to GVA and GDP, and the hundreds of thousands of staff we employ, because we're just not recognised for that. And the national media could be picking up on that as well. So one place that we can actually see and showcase our freelance network, our supply chain, our impact on society, well-being socially and for physically, the tribalism of sports and music events, the trade deals and the shopping of R&D, industry events and experiential events, the charity fundraisers that are the lifeblood of a lot of charities, London Marathon events, example. If that was all put in one place and showcased, then everyone in this industry would benefit from it. We'd rise a little bit higher together. But it takes a lot of work of collaboration to do that. So, what we basically came up with is to showcase, respect and value the power of the UK events industry on a platform in one place. We set up a not-for-profit business in April, May. Myself and Simon Hughes, ex-chair of the BVEP. That's an association that looks after some of the leisure and business events associations. And I literally contacted, and I have day in, day out for the last 9 months, spoken to Hugh Brayshaw at London Marathon Events, Jeremy Rees at XL London, Melvin Ben at Live Nation Festival Republic, Peter Hall, head of Europe for Informa, crossing different sectors from exhibition to sport to music and so on, and just asking them, is this a good idea? Should I do this? Is it needed? 99.9% have all come back and said, yes, we support you, we'll put our name to it, here's a few quid for a startup fund, and sharing it. Giving me also a little few contacts as well to contact through their peers, their supply chain. So I'm incredibly humbled by that support. I think I might hit a nerve with a lot of people. So yeah, that's basically the plan. Tom, if you just go to the site, please, that'd be much appreciated. So we launched a little brand splash teaser page in June, just to show all these people that were putting a little money into the startup fund for us, supporting us, shouting about it, what it might look like. We're planning to launch the main platform in January. If you could just scroll down a bit. Keep going, my friend. So really, keep going, yeah. The objectives are all there, which I've pretty much told you about. Keep going. So we're going to showcase these 7 sectors. They're not purely definitive. Everyone's got an opinion. But for the basis of this, most people agree this is about as good as it gets with regards to defining the 7 sectors. And the irony is that 95% of our supply chain work across most of these, if not all these sectors. You speak to an AV company, a venue, a caterer, a freelancer, a health and safety person. They don't work in one sector, they work across all of them, 95% of the industry. We've got to start leveraging that a bit more. Scroll down a bit more, Tom, for us. And this is the community. We'll be showcasing all the main industry publications across the different sectors are supporting us now, have signed up, sharing our press releases, going to support through their contacts, their communities. About 20, 25 of the main trade associations, again, across all the sectors, are supporting us, some of which brilliantly are here today. We've got 8 universities across the 4 nations supporting us. They've all put quite a few quid into the startup fund. I'm talking sort of the likes of, we're still talking to Ulster, but they're about to come on board, we think, University of West Scotland, Leeds, Manchester, Sheffield Hallam, Westminster, Greenwich, Bournemouth, Cardiff. So we've got a 4 nations representation. And what their job is, we're going to launch with the platform an app. And the app will basically be encouraged to be downloaded by every event professional and organisation head. So that when we need to find out where people work and what the impact of a train strike is or COVID is or something else, or when we just need to tell government what actually is the value of this sector and what the ethnic background is and what skills people have, we have an ability to contact people very quickly because government particularly demands stuff very quickly when there's a knee-jerk reaction for data. And without data, this is all fluff. We need the overriding passionate content, but we need the data to back it up. And at the moment, it's nowhere. Trade associations have brilliant sector-specific stuff, but it's the big numbers that really resonate with media and with government. So we can get that credible with the academic university partners to crunch it and put some insight into it and produce some infographic reports. We start elevating ourselves alongside other slightly more understood and valued sectors. And as I said, we have cross-nation representation. So yeah, if you go back to these slides, please, Tom. So that's a bit of an example of what the platform is going to look like, showcasing the 7 sectors, showcasing profiles of all the different university supporters, all the different media supporters, the trade associations, all be profiled on there. Everyone can find them and click on those links and those profiles, and there's a map to signpost. So that in one place, people can see the breadth of community support, opportunities to network, an overview of the different skills and expertise and sectors that we work in, and even an events calendar with all these different events, as I say. So far, we had a target of 100K. We raised 125 in a couple of months, and it's growing. I'll be speaking to all of you individually straight afterwards. No, don't worry, I'm joking. Come and find me if you feel generous. We have over 500 organisations. I've mentioned a few of them, but whether it's Informa, or it's London Marathon Events, Excel London, Jack Morton's TROs and Experiential World, MEI, top of the tree, there we go. They are all helping, and they're all referring us to people we might not know yet. And every conversation, I'm having 5 or 6 Zooms a day, are all saying yes. And it's fantastic, because it should be a no-brainer. We've got, as I said, we've got the trade associations and all that sort of stuff. We've got people like Greener Festival, I think Claire might be here, and Scott, who signed up a week or 2 ago, and Diversity Alliance, and Eventwell, and Black Events Professionals Association, making sure there's a full representation and inclusivity of some of the skills and the better practice. They'll also be profiled as well as not-for-profit B Corps. So, we're trying to elevate our industry, get a bit more respect, a bit more value. So please, support us. Come and find me. I'm here this day and this evening. If you've got a few quid, about 500 quid to £1,000 is all people are putting into the startup fund. Some are obviously putting in more, but that's their issue and that's their prerogative. If you can't support in another way. Shout about us. Come and find me. Let other people know about it. Thank you very much for listening. Appreciate it.